Hi everyone, John here. Welcome back to my channel and My Hangar. Today we're going to take a look at the Aegis Dynamics Avenger. Now we're going to have a quick look around the ship and then have a look at some of its damage states in Arena Commander. Now the first thing you'll notice at the front of the Avenger is this rather large nose mounted weapon. Now this is a Tiger Streak T21 and looks rather beastly. Now as we move around the side, you'll notice the distinctive shape of the Avenger. You know, it reminds me a lot of some of the early designs they used to test the concept of atmospheric re-entry for the space shuttle. Or maybe that's just me thinking of that white tiled look. So what kind of ship is the Aegis Dynamics Avenger? Well, it's described as an ex-police cruiser ship, and it's also designed for bounty hunting. Now as we move along down to the front of the cockpit here, you'll notice that there's actually no way into the ship this way. Well, if there is, I certainly didn't find it. I think it's because the ship actually uses all of its size, which is only about 19 meters, for quite a surprising amount of space inside. Now as we move underneath here, we can see some of the thrusters. That looks very much like some maneuvering thrusters there as well on the bottom. Not absolutely sure. Now we've got either side you've got a pair of these Talon Stalker missiles, I believe, and you've got a weapon either side on either the wings, and that is a, let me just have a look, because I always have to read this out, by the way. I don't memorize this because I get confused with the amount of names there are on these weapons. They're Joker sucker punches on the wings here. Now obviously you can probably swap out the weapons in the Voyager Direct store. Now this will give you a bit of an idea of the size on scale, and as we move to the back where the engine is, this is actually the way into the ship, but everything has got a bit of a compromise on the Avenger because it does utilise the space well. It's actually a very tight squeeze. You've got to mind your head, and in fact there's a very helpful reminder, mind your head. So you might want to wear a helmet when you get in here. So it's very tight squeeze here. You've got to be a little on the short side maybe for this ship. Anyway, as you can see, there's a surprising amount of space here, and this is your area which you're going to use to well, as a prisoner detention holding area. Now you'll notice that there's not a lot of room here. In fact, if we open one of these little cells up, you notice that there's not a lot of room to squeeze your unfortunate captives in. In fact, I think they've got to be a little bit on the thin side to get in these pods, and I think they're going to be a lot thinner once they get out. Maybe it's some type of futuristic torture device, but seriously, all the back of the Avenger is actually being redesigned, I believe by Foundry 42 up in Manchester. You know, so all this will change, and there will be some Avenger variants somewhere down the line. So at the moment this is just basically a placeholder. It will give you an idea if you buy this ship what you'll get. So yeah, so that will all change. Now as we move up into the center section here of the Avenger, again a surprising amount of space for such a small ship, and obviously this will probably be reworked as well. You've actually got a bed here, and it actually reminds me a little bit of I just recently watched the original Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston. Well, that'll tell you a bit about my age. And they had these cryogenic sleeping pods, and it does remind me a little bit of a cryogenic sleeping pod. But this will all probably change. We'll probably get an exploration variant of the Avenger, so you'll probably get all facilities in the back here. Now as we move into the cockpit here, you'll see why there's no entry point here, because it is actually very tight for space in the cockpit, but you've got some very good visibility. As we look around the cockpit, it's got some nice instruments. Obviously there's be placeholders for the future, but the visibility is very good. Let's have a fly around the ship and take a closer look. Well, I found the Avenger flew very well in Arena Commander. I'm sure a lot of you watching will be able to fly the ship a lot better than me. Anyway, we're going to move on to look at the damage states in a moment. Now, they wasn't as extensive as some ships, but I'm sure they're probably work in progress, and I know that they're working on new damage state systems. Anyway, let's have a look in slow motion at what I did manage to capture. Well, I think I'll have to go back to look at the damage states again for the Avenger in the future. But at the moment, if you wish to pledge for the Avenger, it's still a nice ship to go for, because it's going to be reworked, so a lot of what you've seen in this video will change in the future. But remember, just mind your head when you're getting in and out. Now here's some most important highlights of news from the Star Citizen universe. Now, as I'm recording this video, there's only one day left for the concept sale for the Orion mining platform ship. Now, the Orion is an awesome looking ship. It's designed by a guy called George Hull, who's done work for Hollywood movies. And although it's only in the concept stage, it really does look awesome. It's likely to change quite a lot before we see it in the persistent universe. They're already tinkering with moving the bridge, but it's certainly going to be a sight to see. Sadly, I don't think I can quite afford the Orion. I've got to save my money for a computer upgrade, X99 and maybe a 5960 sometime soon. Anyway, the Orion is available until the 2nd of March, I believe, and sure does look impressive. Also this week, the Cutlass Black is available to fly for everyone in Arena Commander. Now that's an awesome ship as well, and also the Cutlass Blue is back on sale. Now that's an awesome ship, and recently in a hangar tour video I focused on the Cutlass Blue and also included the Cutlass Red as well. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out. Now at the end of the week, there's PAX East, and there's a special Star Citizen event there, and I believe tickets are still available if you're, well, in that area. I'm only 3,500 miles away, so afraid I can't attend. But it should be a pretty interesting event, because they're set to unveil the FPS module. Now that won't be available to all of us quite yet. That'll be available in 1.1.0, and they're not committing to when that's going to be released, but hopefully it will be within the next, well, month or so. And that should also see the Aegis Gladius flyable in Arena Commander, and maybe also the Retaliator in our hangars. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Now I'm looking forward to seeing the video from that PAX East event, and hopefully it won't be long before we're doing some first person combat. Now this week there's been some sad news for all of us fans of science fiction and space, with the passing of Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock to us all. Now, I grew up watching Man land on the moon and watching Star Trek, which inspired my passion and interest for space and science fiction. Leonard Nimoy's memories of his work will live on, and may he rest in peace, and he'll be remembered forever. Well, thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you wish. And to all of you out there, wherever you're watching, out in that big universe, you take care, and may you live long and prosper. And I'll see you sometime soon. Bye for now.